You obviously travelled very light, Tracey.
Yes.
Love the video. Great sense of humour in that. How much do you get involved yourself in the production of those?
I write them. Not bad. Well, Dave has a few ideas. Dave Robinson, who I work with at Stiff, he has a few ideas. Then we just get a load of locations and we do them in about a day.
Which is very good for videos.
We work till 4 in the morning and just get it all done. Just if anything happens, and if we find any gags when we get there, you know. The mirror ball was planned on that one.
That's terrific.
You know, I decided to do that. But just whatever happens on the day, we're very spontaneous. If you make videos spontaneous, they tend to work a lot better.
You seem to be very much into the whole 60s thing, you know, the frocks and all of that.
I love it, and yet I'm so young. I mean, I'm just a baby. I'm 24 now. I mean, all I remember of the 60s was my mum going out on a Saturday night in the old miniskirt and twisting with my Auntie Irene, you know. And, I mean, the dresses I like wearing. I mean, and I remember things in the 60s, like when my mum was going out to the club, she used to let us watch The Saint, and it's bed after The Saint. And the Saint, Roger Moore, would always walk through a disco, wouldn't he? And there'd always be some crazy kids going like this, and hey, hi. And they always wore like really lurex frocks with big hoops on it, and they had blonde hair, and that's how I remember the 60s. And
you also seem to like a lot of the old songs. I mean, like this Move Over Darling.
I do, I love them. I mean, when I listen to tapes and decide what to do for the next single, I get a lot of new songs sent to me, but I don't like them as much. I just want to... I mean, originally I wanted to sing, make records, because I adored Cilla Black, Dusty Springfield, Sandy Shaw, Lulu. They were all the women I really admired who'd been in the pop business. And although I loved Toyah, Kate Bush, and all the people that followed, they didn't have such an impact on me. And I found I just wanted to re-record the older stuff. And
yeah. Going way back, I mean, we know that you're terribly with it and really not very old, but on the other hand, were you one of these performing children?
Yes, I went to a stage school. They're nothing like fame, you know. We don't break into spontaneous choreographed routines on the stairs and all love each other, you know. We tear each other's eyes out, really. And it's, yes, I went to the Italia Conti stage school from when I was 12 to when I was 16. And I had a good laugh. I had a great time at school. I loved school.
But did you like that whole kind of theatre school?
No, I hated it, Gloria. I especially hated auditions because, I mean, the kids that got the jobs when you were 12 were the lovely little blonde ones who did the Nestle's cream ads and said, hello, I like playing with Cindy dollies and I love school and I love everybody and I'm really sweet. And they used to get all the jobs and I used to walk in, you know, looking terribly Jewish, and I went through that awkward 13-year-old stage, you know, where I just looked awful all the time. And the last audition I went to as a kid, it was for something like Kismet, and they used to send like 300 of us out on a coach for these auditions, and they lined like 300 kids up on the stage, and all the mums were in the wings with the makeup boxes, and my Benita's got longer legs than your carrot. No, she hasn't. She bloody has. And I remember that this guy went, this really bored producer went, okay, I'll have you, little blonde girl, I have you, and, oh, Tony, what shall I have? Oh, I'll have you. And he pointed right at me out of 300 people. I went, oh, God, I thought this is it. And I stepped forward. He went, no, not you, darling. The little blonde next to you. And I thought, I'll never go on another audition as a child. It was just a cattle market. It was terrifying.
You were, in fact, a dancer for quite a number of years, weren't you?
I was, till I was about 18. From 16 till 18, I was a dancer with the second generation, Dougie Squires, you know, all that. Hi, we're hip. You know, did all that for a couple of years, got my equity card.
And why did you give dancing up?
I just wasn't very good at it. I wasn't very dedicated, and I mean, when I used to see girls with their legs around their ear holes, you know, these hot gossip girls made me want to give up because they're so good. And, well, I wasn't really getting anywhere, and I had a number of misfortunes on stage, and it didn't really like it. Oh, I always tell this story. Well, I went up with no knickers on once, and they didn't employ me again. I'm always telling that. I told the whole nation about me wearing no knickers in Blackpool, and the various incidents.
And they've been
like
watching
that.
you ever since, presumably.
Yeah. Got them on today.
Woo! When it comes to your impersonations, I mean, is it very much observation, watching people as you move around?
I watch videos of people if I'm going to impersonate them, and you're sort of very cool and calm and collected, isn't she? Nothing ever goes wrong for Gloria. I sit here like this.
That's okay. Give me your bag and I'll just sit like this for the rest of it.
I can't really do you terribly well, but you're very cool and collected.
You've actually done it better than anyone I've ever heard prior to this, because most people get it a very, very strong
They don't hear a Belfast, sort of
yes,
Belfast accent. It's not. It's very calm. And
so I approve of yours.
You're beautiful. Accent.
Who were your first impressions when you started in this game?
I think it was Toya. It's a mystery, oh, it's a mystery. Because I used to speak like that when I was about 12. And I did, like, loads of exercises to get rid of it. She doesn't lift like that, she lifts like that. I think it's very appealing. God, I got that Toya, if you're watching, you'll break my neck. I'm good mates with Toya now, but she never mentions the impersonations. She never mentions it. It's really odd. And once we got stuck outside a stage door, me and her, and there were about 40 of her fans. And they went, do an impersonation of Toya, do an impersonation. And she just went, it's okay, you can if you want. And I said, no, honestly, I can't. And I ran back inside. I couldn't do it in front of her.
Do you have a favourite that you enjoy doing?
Not so much impersonation. I do like doing Toya. I love it. But I have characters I enjoy doing very much.
What's the lady who's got some kind of a fungus problem? Pardon the French. I can't remember her name.
There's a character called Betty Tomlinson that I do. I always enjoy doing Betty. When I first went to the writers with the idea to do her, they said, oh, you can't. That sounds really weird, you know. I said, you know, you always get these women. They're always in documentaries, and it's sort of a handheld camera job, and they're saying, well, the fungus started when Steve went into prison, and Kelly and Wayne, my kiddies, they're not happy. You know, I'm not right. I'm not right myself, you know. I'm under the doctor. And you always get them, and I said, you should do a sketch about it. And they always show, they track up to the fungus coming out of the walls, and, you know, she's got no bath, the toilet's 2 miles from the house. And I always enjoy doing Betty, because she's, you know, she's got a social problem.
I love the Sloane Ranger. I think that's absolutely true.
Oh, Rosemary, Roz. It's based on my friend Rosemary.
You're going to launch into a bit of the Sloane Ranger?
Hey, that's really cool, okay? That's Rosemary. And, like, when I showed her the video of it, she said, that's beautiful. And I thought she was going to get you, little cow, how dare you impersonate me? And she said, that's beautiful, that's really beautiful.
I take it that a lot of your friends don't recognise the fact that you've incorporated them into the act.
They don't. Loads of them don't. There's one girl, I'll do this beauty queen once. And she's like, oh, gets excited. And it's based on this, I won't mention her name, it's based on this friend of mine. And every time she goes, I don't know who that girl is. She'll make me laugh. She makes me laugh. I'm not saying it.
Well, Tracey,
I think if you can't see it's you, you're crazy.
We've got to leave it at that point, but I wish you every success with a career in the new year, and thank you very much indeed.
Thank
Tracey
you very
Ullman.
much.